We're here with Tim Kane. He's been a project manager with us in his current role, but been with the company for over 10 years. And definitely, man, one of the best leaders we have, up and coming. Really excited that he's on the team. Tim, you know, when we talk about leadership, and you and I talk about it all the time, man, flexibility is, I think, definitely a characteristic of great leaders. How has flexibility been important to you in your role and what you do?
Flexibility what it does is it gives you the opportunity to work with others. So you're being flexible not for yourself, but to be able to help and lead others. So being flexible means, you know, for me that I can go to any job, any project, and a person be able to come to me for advice, help, whatever. So throughout the years, being flexible put me in a position to be able to teach and train people the broad scope of everything that we do.
Man, one of the things that a lot of people talk about is like, I don't have capacity, I don't have margin, I'm being too stretched when it comes to flexibility. What's your attitude or approach when it comes to like having to go from job to job or all of that? What's your attitude and approach?
Attitude would be communication. Start with communication, start communicating with everybody involved. And listen to everybody involved. So get a good ear on what everybody's doing, how it's working. It's a smoother transition into a project versus, you know, jumping in and trying to grab the reins. You can kind of get a good detailed version of what's going on by asking people and listening versus going in and taking control.
There are many characteristics that go into making a great leader. One of those characteristics is flexibility. Let me say that again. Flexibility, which means, do you have the ability to flex depending upon what the circumstance, situation, or person calls for? That's one of the number one qualities that you can actually possess. And it's super connected to self-awareness. What I mean by that is when you come into a difficult situation or a situation where people are just trying to figure out a solution, you've got to be self-aware of how you're projecting, what your energy is like, and how you're coming into that situation. That's why the power of curiosity is so important. Do you ask questions when you come onto a scene of uncertainty or difficulty? Do you try to figure out what they've already tried to do? Or do you come in with your presumptions or your assumptions about how already to fix the problem? If that's the case, you're already behind the 8 ball. Great leaders know how to be flexible. Tim, one of the things that we've talked a lot about and just recently is, flexibility. And when you're a leader, you're in a different spot than other people. You know, there's almost like this higher level you're called to. Can you speak to us about that?
The higher level would be taking ownership of everything you do, meaning that you're not doing it for someone else. You're not doing it for the company. You're doing it for yourself, your reputation. So you take ownership of what you're doing, and with that, being torn every different way will no longer feel like you're being torn because it's yours. You own it. No one's telling you here or there. You're actually in control of everything you're wanting to do and accomplish.
At the end of the day, how we show up as leaders is really important, and I would imagine how you show up as a leader is probably connected to the reputation you want to leave.
As a leader, you leave behind, your teaching, your training. So as a leader, the biggest accomplishment is the effect that you left on that person, whether they were successful or not. So that leadership quality you'll take with you anywhere in life, with your family. It could be at the store. It could be in a moment that the occasion rises, and that leadership quality needs to come out. So it is a personal trait that you carry with you way further than your job or even just that moment in time.
At the end of the day, you take you with you. Wherever you go, you take yourself. And that's all that you really have, is how do you show up as a leader? How do you show up as a person? How do you show up as an individual? Because at the end of the day, it's your choices, decisions that make up your reputation. No matter what job you're doing, no matter what relationship you're in, you are building a reputation. At the end of the day, those are the results that you're going to get.